Are you a content creator or a small business owner with at least 10,000 followers on Instagram, and yet you're still struggling to make the income that you've always dreamed? Well, I was in the same exact position. I did a lot of changes to my life, and looking back, I just want to share the 5 mistakes that I did while I was starting out, which actually wasted me 2 years, and I don't want anyone to go through what I went through. So I'm just sharing this to give you some perspective so that you don't make the same mistakes and can make money a lot faster than I did. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Nadia, and this is my best friend in the world, my golden retriever Reggie, and together we are Malaysia's top mom and dog influencers with over 200,000 followers across 4 social media platforms. On Instagram itself, currently we have 106,000 followers, and I really thought that when I surpassed 100,000 followers on Instagram, money is gonna come to me just like that. But the hard reality is, it didn't. And yeah, I'm gonna get into the 5 reasons why. So number 1 is, when I started my journey to be a content creator, I had the perception that let me just build my community first. Let me build my community, and then once I have my community, and then I can sell something to them. So this is a belief that I got when I watched videos from other content creators. So for example, when you watch the YouTubers, right, they always say that if you make 1 YouTube video a week for an entire year, your life will change. So I was like, okay, let me just focus on creating content on Instagram regularly, and my life will change. So in a sense, my life did change, that I managed to quit my corporate job and I'm doing this full time. But the problem is that I'm still not making as much money as I thought I would. So I digress. The number 1 mistake that I made is I started without a product in mind. So I was so focused on building my followers that I thought, yeah, once I build my followers, the money will come. And I reached 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I wasn't making as much money as I thought I was. And then I realized that I have nothing to sell to them, so that there was no way for me to make money. And then I realized that most businesses start their business with a product, and then they use Instagram to drive attention to their product. So the number 1 lesson is, start with a product in mind. The second lesson is just focusing on follower growth. So as I mentioned, it ties directly to point number 1, where I was just so focused on follower growth, and I thought that once I have like my 100,000 followers on Instagram and 200,000 followers across all the other social media platforms, that money will sort itself out. So that was very naive, and it doesn't. So the lesson here is that just because you have a huge following doesn't necessarily mean that you will get a lot of money. I wish I knew that sooner, and I would have done a lot of things differently, but it's okay, right? I mean, life is a series of experiments and tweaking things bit by bit until I get it right. So I'm in the middle of doing my tweaks and starting to make more money. Okay, number 3 is that I was depending mostly on brand deals. So in my 2nd year of being a full-time content creator, I had 2 ongoing long-term brand deals with these pet brands. And they were actually paying me quite a lot of money to make content for them on a monthly basis. So from these 2 brand deals itself, I was making about 5 figures monthly. And then what happened in early 2026 is that they decided that they want to focus their marketing budget in more in-person events as opposed to spending it online. So they decided that they wanted to take part in more had expos, and to take part in an expo is really, really expensive, and they couldn't afford to do both. They couldn't afford to take part in an expo and also pay me to make content on social media for them, so they cut me off. And this was 2 brand deals like around the same time, which I was generating 5 figures a month from, and I lost both of them, and my income went down by 80%. Like I lost 80% of my income in a span of 2 weeks due to circumstances that I didn't see. And that was my bad for depending solely on brand deals. Number 4 was that I didn't invest in myself. So I follow this YouTuber, Omar El Khattauri, and he says time and time again that if you want people to be better buyers, you need to be a better buyer yourself. So let me explain. I am thinking about creating a program, like a program for my followers, and then I was wondering what to price my program. Okay, so at first I was thinking I'm gonna price it at $150. And then the principle behind it is, let's say I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of a consumer. If I'm not willing to invest $150,000 in a program, what makes me think that I can sell a program worth $150,000? So, it all stems from belief in yourself. So let me just give you one example that happened very recently. So because I lost my brand deals, I was so frustrated that I was actually desperate. I was desperate that for the first time ever in my life, I decided to invest in a course that was a lot of money. Okay, so it was a 5-figure course, which is called the Consistent 10K. So the promise and Reggie, stay with mommy, okay? Stay with mommy. Okay, so the outcome that this program promised is, if I go through the program and if I do all the homework, by the end of the 4 months, I will be able to generate 10,000 USD consistently on a monthly basis. And at that time, the problem was so painful that I was willing to just throw money at it. And for the very, very first time, I spent 5 figures on that program. And I'm really, really glad I did, because it made me a better buyer. And it also reinforced my belief that if someone like me is willing to spend a lot of money on a course, there are definitely other people out there in the world that would also spend a lot of money to better themselves if the problem is painful enough. My co-host is feeling very playful today, but it's okay. Like, he's so cute, right? And the 5th mistake that I did was that at some point I stopped learning. And let me just give you some background. So for the first year of my content creation, I was taking courses, I was following all these Instagram experts, how to grow on Instagram, how to get viral reels, and I studied it. I implemented all the tips and hacks, and now I'm getting reels that has 1 million views, 16 million views. And aside from my content creation skills, I also have a product marketing background. I used to work for a company called Mindvalley, and what Mindvalley does is that they create personal development products, and the target audience is US, UK, Australia, Europe. So the cost of each program, it used to be around $300. And during my time as a product marketer in Mindvalley, I did a product launch for Mindvalley's first ever fitness product, which is called 10X, and it made $1.2 million in the first 2 weeks. So I do have this experience in product marketing. So I thought I knew everything, right? I thought, I know how to build funnels, I know how to create digital products, I know how to increase conversions on landing page, I know how to do ads, I'm really smart. I can figure this out on my own. So then I just did the thing with the current knowledge that I had. Okay, so I'm just gonna share something that happened very, very recently that it hurts so much. And again, I want to share this with you because I don't want you to go through what I went through and waste months and also effort and time and money, as I don't want you to go through all of that. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I lost my brand deals, I lost 80% of my income, and I was desperate. So I thought, fuck, I need to make money and I need to make money fast. So on my Instagram account, why people follow me is because I am a canine nutritionist and I talk a lot about dog health, dog nutrition. I share healthy dog recipes and people love me for that. So whenever I'm doing reels about dog recipes, like it gets hundreds and thousands of views. So naturally the assumption was, okay, if people are following me for this, like, you know, their brains are geared that I'm an expert in this field. So I decided to create a dog nutrition program where you get to work with me closely to make meals for your dogs, so that your dog will be happy, healthy, and live a long and healthy life. So I worked on the program, I launched it, and bear in mind, guys, I have 106,000 followers on Instagram. For people that are following me for my dog nutritional advice. And when I launched this program, guys, I only got 2 sales out of my 106,000 followers. And I was like, there's something wrong. Like, I don't understand it. So, which is why, going back to point number 4, I decided that I needed to invest in myself more and I needed to continue learning because there's something missing. There's just something that I'm not doing right that is keeping me from making the type of income that I want. So, I'm back to being a student. And okay, so I'm just gonna share with you a really, really happy outcome. So from that program that I took, the consistent 10K, I followed the steps. I'm 2 months into the program, and then, so this program is teaching you how to create high ticket offers that you can sell to your audience. I jumped onto a call with a potential client, and I didn't even really do a sales pitch. It was more of a discovery call. So we were just chatting, and then through that chat, I closed my first ever high ticket client for 3,000 USD. Like, okay, this is wild. This is wild. So if it wasn't the fact that I was investing in myself, if it wasn't for the fact that I continued learning, I would have never got to that. And this is just the beginning. I'm so excited, and I'm just gonna throw in a bonus number 6, right? Since I'm already on a roll. So the bonus number 6 was assuming that once I had a product, my audience will buy. So based on the example that I just shared, where I created a dog nutrition course, and because my audience follow me for my dog nutrition advice, I thought that this was gonna fly off the shelf, and it didn't. So yeah, this is what I've learned, right? Your followers don't wake up in the morning thinking that they're gonna go on Instagram and I'm gonna spend money on Nadia. They don't. They go on Instagram to pass time, to be entertained. Yeah, that's it. And like, nobody thinks about going to Instagram because they want to buy something. So yeah, so don't just assume that if you have a large following and that if you created the product that you're gonna be making mad money, because that's not the case. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. So if you're a content creator or a small business owner that is just starting on their journey, if I were to reverse the 5 things not to do, the 5 things that you should do is start with a product in mind. Don't focus on follower growth, because follower growth is not an indication of more wealth, but focus on making money. Don't just depend on brand deals to make money. Make sure that you invest in yourself. And finally, number 5 is keep on learning to be better and better every day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!